Did you feel any urgency to publish this while some of them were still alive, like before the story was completely forgotten?
Oh my God, yes.
This is Climbing Gold. In some ways, this book 30 Below that you just wrote is, I mean, like this is their legacy. Like this is probably will probably be the only real telling of this story. And so in some ways, like you have single-handedly saved this story. Did you feel any pressure because of that?
Oh my God, yes. And I think a lot of that comes from my experience kind of telling some other stories too, where to some extent still we exist in a place where women often aren't allowed to be complicated, and particularly in 1970, god, women were not allowed to be complicated, right? And there
Hmm.
are specific roles that women were and still to some extent are allowed to play, right? You're allowed to be the lone heroine or the damsel in distress or the princess or the witch. And the idea that people can be complicated and complex and have different fears and obstacles and be real people was really important to me to portray for these women. And so, yeah, I think the fact that Margaret and Arlene were still alive for me to be able to actually speak to them and hear their stories and understand who they are as people was very important. And to have them be able to review it, right, for accuracy and perspective. And that's huge. But yeah, I definitely felt this responsibility to tell it well and tell it in a real way. I mean, I kind of hinted that towards the end that some of these women by the end they're not likable necessarily, right? And there aren't
Yeah,
like
Grace in
nobody's
particular.
yeah, and nobody's a clear hero. Nobody steps forward as a clear hero, I don't really think, and
Hmm.
that has to be okay, right? So I did feel this responsibility to tell it in a way that I think that they would have appreciated. I don't think any of these women wanted to be lionized. And I don't think they wanted, I also don't think they really wanted their achievement to be maybe overestimated. And yet none of them knew that they were the first all women's team to do something like this, which I also found fascinating. Like even Arlene to this day, the first time I spoke to her, she was like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, every other expedition that even billed themselves as all women to this point had male guides or porters, right?" So yeah, so I do think that they all kind of underestimated themselves even, which was really interesting. So I wanted to give their feat the due it deserved without trying to turn them into these saints too.